Hey, everybody. Hello. Hi, everyone. Happy Sunday. It is time for the live lesson today. So welcome everyone who has been waiting for us to go live. We're going to wait just 1 or 2 minutes and let a few others join in before we get started with today's live lesson. My name is Molly. I'm a Cambly tutor. I am giving this lesson from the state of Tennessee in the United States. You just saw me a couple of weeks ago. I see already a couple of you that were in the last live lesson that I gave a couple weeks ago. It's good to see you again. Today's topic is going to be for versus since versus ago, because these are very similar words and they're very easily confused. So today we're going to look at the difference between them. How do we know which one we're supposed to use? Okay, so we'll wait just 1 minute while we're waiting. Let's see, tell me where you're watching from and tell me, what are your New Year's resolutions? Because the new year is almost here, right? It's December 19th. We're almost at the end of 2021. Do any of you have any New Year's resolutions or any big plans for the year 2022? Any goals, any plans, any exciting news? I haven't made my New Year's resolution yet. All right, let's see. Where's everyone watching from? Japan. Hello, Japan. Hello, France and Brazil. Hi, India and Haiti and South Korea. Hello, Malaysia and Indonesia, Bangladesh. Someone's goal is to improve their English. That's a great goal to have. Harry says, I want to lose weight next year. I think that's one of the most common New Year's resolutions. Hello, Nepal. Hello, Belgium. Someone else wants to become a fluent English speaker. Very nice. What else? What are your New Year's resolutions or your goals for 2022? Let me know in the chat, and we're going to wait just 30 more seconds, and then we're going to get started with today's lesson. I don't have, someone asked, what are my New Year's plans? I don't have any New Year's plans right now. Probably just work, stay at home with my dogs. I used to like to go and watch all of the fireworks, but it's really crowded if you go and watch the fireworks. So I'm too old to go out now. I like to stay home and go to bed early. All right, someone else's goal is to improve their English and learn Spanish. Very nice. So you want to learn a different language. So you already know English, you want to improve your English, but you also want to learn Spanish. Someone else wants to earn more money. Me too. Me too. I think all of us probably want to earn some more money. Hello, Kenya and Cambodia. Exercise every day and go to bed early. I wish I had the motivation to do that, but I don't. I do not. All right, very nice. Thank you for sharing your plans and your goals for 2022. I think it's important to have goals not only for the new year, but having goals throughout all of the year. Having small goals we can work towards all year long. All right, so welcome everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Molly. Today's live lesson is going to be covering the topic for, since, and ago. So I'm not sure if you have studied these 3 words already. Maybe you have, and this is a good review for you. Maybe this is something new for you. Either way, let's get to it. So these 3 words, for, since, and ago, they're all similar words used in similar ways, but obviously they are not the same. So these words can sometimes be confusing or difficult for English language learners because you have to decide which one is right to use in the sentence. So we're going to take a closer look at each of them today, the differences between them, when to use which one, and then we're going to look at some examples of each one, and then we're going to practice as always. And I have a quiz for you at the end, so make sure you pay close attention. I have a quiz that I'm going to give you all. All right? I know you love quizzes. I'm sure everyone loves quizzes. And don't forget, if you need to leave this live lesson early, no worries. It's going to be recorded and uploaded to Cambly's YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch it again later. Okay? So we're going to get started with the first word over here, for. Okay? For. So we use for when we are talking about a specific period of time, or a duration of time. For example, 1 week. 1 week is a period or duration of time. 10 hours is a period or duration of time. 3 days, 6 years, etc. Okay? The word for is often used with present perfect tense, but it can also be used with other tenses. We will see it used with present perfect tense very often, but sometimes you'll see it used with other tenses. Quick review, who can tell me what is present perfect tense? You can type it in the chat if you know. When do we use present perfect tense, and how do we form a present perfect tense sentence? I'm going to keep going, but if you know the answer, type it in the chat. Okay, and the last thing about for is that for in a sentence is always going to be placed before the time phrase or the time word. Okay, so like I said, 3 months, 6 years, 2 weeks. When we have that time phrase in a sentence, the word for will always be before that time phrase. So for 6 weeks, for 7 hours, for 200 years. All right, always before the time phrase. So this is our word for. Let's see if anyone told me about present perfect. Present perfect tense is used to talk about an unfinished action. So when we form present perfect tense, we use the verb have or has, depending on the subject, plus the past participle. I have studied. She has worked. Okay, that's present perfect. Very good. So let's look at some examples really quickly using for. I have been a Cambly tutor for almost 4 years. Okay, so for has to come before my time phrase. My time phrase is almost 4 years. Why do I use for in this sentence? So 4 years is a duration of time, right? It's a period of time. So I'm indicating how long I've been a Cambly tutor. I have been a Cambly tutor for almost 4 years. The second example, I'll just hold it like this. She has been, we'll hold it like that. Can you see that? She has been waiting, ignore my box around this. She has been waiting for a phone call for a long time. So I almost circled the wrong for. It should be this one. She has been waiting for a phone call for a long time. So my time phrase in this sentence is a long time. That's a period of time. It doesn't say how long, but it's a period of time, a long time. For has to come before it. She has been waiting for a phone call for a long time. Who knows what tense this is being used in this sentence? It's not present perfect. What tense is being used in this sentence? She has been waiting for a phone call for a long time. This is usually a tricky tense to learn. I think I covered this tense a long time ago in one of my very first live lessons. It's not used a ton, but we do use it some. She has been waiting. Good. Present, it's present perfect continuous, or some people like to use progressive. Perfect progressive or present perfect continuous. Very good. Okay, last example using for. We worked together for 3 months. So 3 months is my time phrase. It's the duration of time, the period of time. For has to come before it. And this one, so I just wanted to give you some different examples. So a lot of times I said we use for with present perfect, but for can be used with other tenses. So I gave you 3 different examples using 3 different tenses. The first example was in present perfect. I have been a Cambly tutor for almost 4 years. The second example was present perfect continuous. She has been waiting. And then this last one is just simple past. We worked together for 3 months. Okay. So for can be used with all tenses, but we see it mostly with present perfect. Very good. Okay, so that is for. So just to recap, for is used to talk about a period of time, a specific period of time or duration of time, 3 years, 50 years, 20 minutes, okay, 40 weeks, whatever period of time. We can also use some time or a long time. That is also a time phrase. An easy way to remember for, period of time. Okay, we use for a period of time. Okay? And it's always going to come before the time phrase in the sentence. So this is for. Now we're going to move on to since. Since. So since is going to be used to indicate the beginning of a specific period of time. Okay, and we're going to look at the difference between these two. So since is used to indicate the beginning of a specific period of time or a starting point. So when something started, the time that it started. It is most commonly used with present perfect, but we also use it with other perfect tenses. So past perfect, future perfect, okay? We also use since with other perfect tenses, but again, it's most commonly used with present perfect. And since is also placed before the time phrase or the time word. So here I use time word or time phrase because sometimes we're just going to use one word. And I'll show you some examples. Okay, so our first example is, I use the same sentences so that you can see the difference between them. Okay, so for my sentence was, I have been a Cambly tutor for almost 4 years. Okay, so I'm indicating the duration of time, how long. Now, if I want to use since for the same sentence, I need to indicate the beginning point when I became a Cambly tutor, okay, the starting point. So that example would be, I have been, present perfect, a Cambly tutor since 2018. So this is my time word. It's a year. That's when I began tutoring on Cambly, the year I began tutoring on Cambly, okay? So for is used just for the duration of time, how long it's happened. Since is when we indicate when it started or when it began, okay? So I became a Cambly tutor in 2018. So I have been a Cambly tutor since 2018. Let's look at the second example. For, my example was, she has been waiting for a phone call for a long time. Okay, long time indicates how long she's waited. If I want to use since, she has been waiting for a phone call since 8 a.m. So 8 a.m. is my specific point in time. 8 a.m. is when she sat at her desk and knew she was expecting a phone call and waited. She started waiting for the phone call. By noon, they hadn't called, so she'd been waiting for a long time, okay? So she has been waiting for a phone call since 8 a.m. Since always comes before the time word or time phrase, okay? And the last example, so for 4, the example was, we worked together for 3 months. That is the length of time that we worked together. When did we start working together? I want a specific time, so I'm going to use since. We have been working together since September. So September is when we started working together. That was the starting point. And now we've been working together for 3 months. September, October, November, maybe 3.5. We're in December. Okay? All right. Any questions about for or since? An easy way to remember this, since, point in time, point in time. So for was a period of time, the duration of time, since we use for a specific point in time, the starting point or the beginning. Let me check the chat and see if you have any questions before we cover a go, because a go is a little different. And then we're going to practice some. You have a little quiz. And then we're going to practice, okay? I see some of you are already practicing some sentences in the chat. That is excellent. Keep typing your examples if you like to practice. And let me see really quickly if we have any questions. I'm trying to catch up on your messages in the chat. Okay, good. I see some great examples. I have studied English since January of this year. January of this year. Very good. Someone asked, Terry asked, what's the difference between a time word and a time phrase? That's a good question. So a time word is just one word, like yesterday, Tuesday, maybe 2018, a year. So it's just one word. A time phrase would be like, what was my examples for? A long time. So a long time is a time phrase, not just one word. It's a time phrase. Almost 4 years is a time phrase. So that's the difference. So a phrase is going to be like more than one word. Almost 4 years, a long time, sometime. But a time word would just be like yesterday, Friday, 10 a.m. So that's the difference. Is that clear? He will be staying at his home for 3 months. And so actually you don't have to use the preposition at. You can just say he will be staying home for 3 months. Very good. I have been a Cambly learner for 1 year. Very good. I learned English 3 years ago. Good. We haven't gotten to a go, but good. You're at one step ahead of me. Okay, let's look at a go really quick, and then we'll do a recap, and I'll take questions, and then we're going to practice. So a go is a little different than for and since. It's still used in the same way. Okay, it's still one of these time words we're going to use. But a go doesn't refer to something specific, right? So for refers to a specific period of time. Since refers to a beginning of a specific time. However, a go is just going to refer to some time in the past. It's not a specific time. It's just some time in the past. We can make it kind of specific, but it's any time in the past. And with a go, we're going to use the simple past tense most commonly, okay? Most commonly, a go is used with simple past. A go comes after the time phrase or the time word. So for and since come before the time word or phrase. A go, however, comes after the time phrase or word. Always after, never before. And if it's easy, you can remember a go like before now, before this moment, okay? So let's look at some examples of a go. And again, I use the same sentences, but I just changed them to show you how we can use a go, okay? So the first example, I became a Cambly tutor over 3 years ago. So simple past became, I'm not using perfect tenses in this. I became a Cambly tutor over 3 years ago. My time phrase is over 3 years. Ago has to come after the time phrase. Okay, over 3 years ago is not a specific time, just sometime over 3 years ago in the past. Okay. The second example, she expected, simple past, she expected a call 6 hours ago. She expected a call 6 hours ago. So my time phrase, 6 hours, is before ago. Ago has to come after. And my last one, we started working together 2 months ago. We started working together 2 months ago. So ago will always come after the time phrase. Most commonly used with simple past. All of these examples use simple past. And an easy way to remember that is past or finished time. I didn't mention something important, but if you've studied present perfect, a lot of times, when we use present perfect, we're using it to talk about an action that started in the past and still continues now in this moment, okay? So when we use for and since, a lot of times we're using it to talk about something that started in the past, but it still continues now. Not always. If we use past perfect, it's done, right? It happened in the past. But when we use ago, it's an action that's past or finished. For that reason, we use simple past. Okay, that's the difference between the tenses as well. So maybe some of you need to do a quick refresh of your tenses and how they're used and when we use them. So let's do one quick review over all three of these. And if you want to type some practice sentences, maybe you can take the same sentence and use each of these words with that sentence. So kind of like how I did. So while we're reviewing, let's do that. So come up with your own sentence, and I want you to use that same sentence. Try to use each of these words. So for example, I did me being a Cambly tutor. So I said, I have been a Cambly tutor for almost 4 years. That's me using for. Then for since, I said, I have been a Cambly tutor since 2018. And for ago, I became a Cambly tutor over 3 years ago. Okay? So if you want, maybe you can tell me how long you've been studying English. I have been studying English for blah, blah, blah. I have studied English since blah, blah, blah. Or I started studying English 5 years ago. Okay, so practice those sentences in the chat. And while you're typing your sentences, I'm going to do a quick review, and then we're going to have a quiz, and we're going to practice. So for is used for a specific period of time, commonly used with present perfect, but can also be used with other tenses. And for is always going to come before the time phrase or the time word. Since is used to indicate a point in time, usually the starting point of something, commonly used with present perfect, but it's also used with other perfect tenses. And it indicates something that started at a certain time and still continues today. It is also placed before the time word or the time phrase, okay? Ago, however, is a little different. So it's just sometime in the past, not specific. We don't use perfect tenses usually. We just use the simple past tense. And it comes after the time phrase or the time word, okay? Not before. It comes after. So let's look at a few of your practice examples in the chat, and then we're going to have a quiz that you didn't study for. We call that a pop quiz. All right. Oh, wow. You guys have some great examples. Okay. I studied English 1 year ago. I started listening to this wonderful teacher 20 minutes ago. So sweet. I stopped smoking about 20 years ago. Very good. I started learning English 3 months ago. Awesome. I traveled abroad 3 years ago. Very good. I have been studying English for a long time. Good. So when we talk about time words and phrases, it's just something that indicates time, right? So yesterday, last week, last year, 40 years ago. But we can also use like a long time or some time. That's not so specific, but those are also used as time words. Good. I've been studying English for 3 years. Good, a long time. I started playing football. Okay, so it'd be I started uh, past simple. I started playing football, or let's see. So if you're going to use a year, 2000, let's use for or since. So you can say, I have played football since 2000, the year 2000, or that's been 21 years. I have played football for 20 years. Okay? Or I started playing football 20 years ago. It's a long time to play football. Okay, awesome job. Awesome examples. Now, our quiz is going to be verbal. So I didn't write down the questions. And you can't cheat and look at these. Maybe I can turn you. Let's do that. I'm going to turn you so you can't see the answers. I'll turn you back in just a minute, okay? So let's do a quiz. Type your answers in the chat, and I'm going to just say the answers so that you can practice your listening. I did not write them down. Are you ready? Do you feel like you're in school again? Okay. Which word do we use with a period of time? So how long something's happened. Which word do we use with a period of time? How long something's happened? Do we use for, since, or ago? For, since, or ago. Which one do we use to talk about a period of time? How long? Very good. Okay, so far you're passing. You're passing the quiz. Good. It should be for. We use for to talk about the period of time. Okay, which word do we use to talk about a past or finished time? Past or finished time. Which word? Which one to talk about a past or finished time? Ooh, I see mostly right answers. It should be ago. So we use ago to talk about a past or finished time. And for that reason, we use the simple past tense, right? It's something that's done. Very good. It should be ago. Okay. Which tense comes after, or sorry, which word comes after the time, phrase, or time word? Which one comes after the time, phrase, or time word? For, since, or ago? It comes after the time, phrase, or time word. Good. Very good. It should be, I think these are new answers. It's the same answer as the last one, ago. So ago is used for past, finished actions, and it's also used after the time, phrase, or time word. Okay, which word do we use to talk about a point of time in the past until now? Which word do we use to talk about a point in time until now? Good. Good. It should be since. Since is point in time. So for is period of time. Since is point in time. Okay, last one. Which word comes before? Which word comes before the time, phrase, or the time word? Which one comes before the time, phrase, or time word in a sentence? For, since, or ago? Trick question. Okay, good. I see some of you are sending them in separate messages. So it's since and for. There's two right answers. It should be since and for. Both of them have to come before the time, phrase, or time word. Okay, very good. You guys passed the quiz. I'll turn you back so you can read this again. Good job. A+. Okay, last thing, and then we're going to finish the lesson for today. So I'm going to give you a sentence, and you have to tell me which word needs to be used, for, since, or ago. Okay? This is what we'll finish with. So, I have been waiting blank sometime. I have been waiting blank sometime. For, since, or ago. Very good, very good. It should be for. For is the right answer. I have been waiting for some time. Why do we use for? Because it's talking about the period of time, how long we were waiting, okay? I have been waiting for some time. Good job. Okay, next one. He called me 30 minutes blank. For, since, or ago. He called me 30 minutes blank. Good. It should be ago. He called me 30 minutes ago. So our biggest indicator is that our verb is in simple past, right? That kind of gives it away. And the other indicator is that the time phrase is before ago. So ago always comes after the time phrase. Very good. The correct answer is ago. Good job. Okay, next one. I have been studying English. I almost said the answer. Blank 3 years. I have been studying English blank 3 years. Good. I see mostly right answers. There's a couple that we'll go over why it's. So it should be for, okay? I have been studying English for 3 years. I have been studying English for 3 years. Why is it for? Because we're talking about how long we've been studying English. It's a length and time. It's a duration, okay? So it should be for. If we wanted to use since for this sentence, we would need to say maybe I have been studying English since, and it needs to be, when did we start? 3 years ago would have been 2018, right? So it needs to be a starting point. So when did I start studying English? 3 years ago was 2018. Okay. I have been studying English since 2018. That's when I started, and it continues to now. But this sentence is talking about how long, the length of time that we've studied English, and it's been 3 years. So it should be for. I have been studying English for 3 years. Is that clear? Do you understand the difference? Why we can only use for in this sentence and not since? So remember, for is used for like the duration of time. How you can ask yourself how long. So in this case, it would be 3 years, right? So if we can ask ourselves how long, the answer is for. Since we can't ask ourselves how long, maybe we can ask when. When did it start? 3 years isn't a time that it started. Maybe if we said 3 years ago, but it needs to be a specific starting point to use since, okay? All right. Just 3 more. 3 more and then we'll finish. We have been waiting for the delivery blank Tuesday. We have been waiting for the delivery blank Tuesday. For, since, or ago. There's only one right answer. So for all of these, there's only one right answer, not 2. I know sometimes I trick you and say there's more than one right answer, but in this case, there's only one right answer, I promise. Good. So it should be since Tuesday. We have been waiting for the delivery since Tuesday. Why is it since? Because Tuesday was the starting point. We started waiting on Tuesday and we're still waiting in this moment, okay? So Tuesday is the starting point. It's a point in time. We have been waiting for the delivery since Tuesday. Very good. Okay, 2 more. 2 more and then we're done. The new art gallery has been opened blank July. The new art gallery has been opened blank July. Good, 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 good. This one is also since. Very good. Why? Because the art gallery opened in July. That was the starting point of the art gallery being opened. Okay. So it has to be since. We're talking about a specific point in time. And last one, and we'll be done for today. I quit my job 3 days blank. Not really. It's just an example. I quit my job 3 days blank. Very good. I think you guys have it. Awesome. Awesome job. Now you need to practice it. So the right answer is a go. Sorry. It's a go. Very good. I quit my job 3 days ago. So now when you're speaking in the past tense or the perfect tenses, you can practice in your daily conversation which one is the correct one to use. Okay. Because I know a lot of times they get confused. It's easily confused. Very good. That is the end. You guys passed. A+ stars for everyone. I hope that this lesson helped you understand a little more the difference between for, since, and ago, and how to use which one, why we can only use one and not another for certain sentences, right? Depending on what we're trying to say or what time we're indicating, or if we're indicating a length of time. Remember, if you joined in late today, or if you needed to leave early, or maybe you had to get up and go do something and you missed part of the lesson, you can watch it again on Cambly's YouTube channel. So it's been recorded, and you can watch it, pause it, fast forward, rewind, whatever you need to do. And I just want to say thank you all so much for joining today's lesson. It was great having all of you participate and give all of your great examples. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Sunday and the rest of your week and the rest of your December. I won't see you before the end of 2021. So everyone have a happy new year. And I'll see you for the next live lesson with me. Bye, everyone. See you next time.